All right, welcome to Military History Chronicles, everybody. How's everyone going? Hopefully, everyone having a fantastic Friday night. Another episode of Military History Chronicles. I wish there was. Look, when we're talking military history, we're really not talking about anything good, right? To be honest with you, but interesting things happening in our world, isn't there? Wow. Don't know what to say. We'll try to break it down as best as we can. You know, I'll listen to see what you guys have to say, and I'll kind of give you my opinion on what's going on here. But this just broke, maybe about half hour, 45 minutes ago. Trade war still heating up between Canada, China, Mexico, and United States. China tonight announced a major wave of retaliatory tariffs against Canadian agricultural products, including a 100% tariff on Canadian rapeseed oil, oil cakes, and pea imports, 25% duty on Canadian aquatic products and pork, with these tariffs claimed to be in response to Canada's 100% tariff on Chinese electric vehicles and 25% levy on aluminum and steel products that was announced last October. Again, it's heating up, guys. Tariffs are flying all over the damn place. United States, you know, under the Trump administration, I don't know whether we're coming or going. We put tariffs on Canada and Mexico. We've paused tariffs on Canada and Mexico. We've put tariffs back on Canada and Mexico, and then we've paused again on tariffs with Mexico. I think they're still going on with Canada, if I'm not mistaken. Could be wrong, but it's just getting out of control. I think there are still tariffs against China from the United States, if I'm not mistaken. And all it's going to do, it's going to affect us normal people, right? When we go to the store, when we want to buy our goods, when we want to buy gas, it's going to go up. It's a mess. And I don't understand it. It's it's a little bit weird. It's a form of protectionism, isolationism. That's kind of what happens when you rely heavily on tariffs. There's no rhyme or reason, and that's the issue that I'm having right now. And again, this can include other things we're going to get into here shortly. But it just seems no rhyme or reason. There's no coherent plan. It's by the whim, you know. It's how do I feel today? Let's go slap some tariffs today, right? And then all of a sudden, nope. Disregard, I'll pause those tariffs. Wakes up in another couple of days and decides to do tariffs again. It doesn't make any sense. I don't understand what's going on. It's a little bit weird. It would be nice to have some leadership being demonstrated here. Again, there you go. That is the latest as far as what's going on with the trade wars. Since our last show, when was our last show? Hold on. That was a week ago. Matter of fact, the aftermath of the Zelenskyy and President Trump feud in the Oval Office. It was just ridiculous. And of course, there were some major repercussions from that meeting. And we could get into that a little bit. I'll try to stay on a timeline. I may jump around a little bit, so just bear with me. But it's a little bit weird, to say the least. All right, let's have what's up, Eric? Good to see you out there, man. I hope you're doing well. Let's take a little trip down memory lane. I've seen this a lot too, guys. During World War II, yes, we were in an alliance with the Soviet Union, correct? We all know that. During World War II, Soviet Union was part of the alliance, right? To fight specifically Germany and to a certain extent Japan, but the Soviets never got involved with Japan because we wind up dropping a couple of nuclear bombs, and that took the Soviet Union out of the fight for Japan. Okay. But again, we were still allies. But here's the thing. Just because we're allies doesn't mean the Soviet Union were up to no good. Okay. Soviet Union during World War II invaded Poland. They also invaded Finland. Post World War II, of course, they took over Eastern Europe, right? They weren't exactly kind. Let's not forget, the Soviet Union and Germany had a pact that was signed. What was that? 1938, 39, somewhere around there. Oh, actually, no, I think it was before that. No, I think it was 1939. I'll take it back. I think it was 1939. The Soviets and the Germans signed a pact. Soviet Union was receiving a lot of goods from Germany. And of course, Germany was sending goods to the Soviet Union as well. But once we invaded, or I should say once Germany invaded Poland, well, then there was a deal, right? There was a deal with the Soviets. Germany said they'll take the western part of Poland. Soviet Union was going to take the eastern part of Poland. It's pretty sad because Poland thought that the Soviets were going to come to their rescue when in actuality they were taking over half of their country as well. So there's precedent, right? And I'm only going back to World War II, of course. It goes much further back in history than that. But I just want to try to stay within some recency. So the Soviets exactly weren't the best people to get along with. Sometimes you guys know the saying, right? The enemy of my enemy is my friend. That's kind of how it was during World War II. They were going to help us fight the Germans. And look, not going to say they lost a lot of men fighting the Germans. Germans lost also a lot of men invading the Soviet Union. So did they do us a favor? Absolutely, they did. Look, we're not gonna beat around the bush. They helped us not taking on the brunt of the German army when we invaded the continent back in 1944. So yes, there is that. But ever since then, once World War II was over, of course, Winston Churchill gave his famous speech in 1947 about the Iron Curtain, so to speak, right? And ever since then, there's been a confrontation between the United States and the Soviet Union because post World War II, the United States became a superpower after World War II. Soviet Union at that particular time wasn't really a superpower. Look, did they have a massive army? Absolutely. But they weren't at the same level as we were, as far as technology and manpower and such. The United States was it. But it didn't take long, and the Soviet Union became a superpower, right? Well, not necessarily economically, but as far as their nuclear weapons, right? As far as nuclear weapons, yes, they became a superpower. Let's see what we got. Oh, what we got here. We got Cole already saying stuff here. Let me see. Cole, I hate to tell you, you are incorrect. Just saying. Zelenskyy was not in any way, shape, or form disrespecting. Vice President Vance chimed in when he didn't need to chime in. And Zelenskyy corrected him. Right? That's just how it happened. There was no disrespect whatsoever. I'm not going to go down that. I'm not going to keep going down that path because I've already talked about it. If you go back and look at the past show, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. I played the clip right here on the show, broke it down as they were talking. Okay. So go take a look and you can see where my thoughts and feelings were on the Zelenskyy and Trump meeting. So I'll leave it at that. Anyway, so we're in the Cold War, right? We're against each other. United States, helped form NATO. It's an agreement between nations for defense only, right? That's what it's for. It's for defense because people were afraid of what the Soviet Union was doing. Because post World War II, the Soviet Union was very much involved in Eastern European countries and how they were going to run their countries, heavily influenced by the Soviets, right? And the Western European nations saw what was going on, and they didn't want that to happen to them as well. So they formed the alliance, right? That's where it is. So for the longest time, the United States, Soviet Union were antagonists, right? Well, that kind of was still the same. Things started thawing out, right? During Reagan and Gorbachev, things started thawing out. Eventually, the Soviet Union could have sustained itself. I'm not going to go into history of that because that could take hours to talk about. But the Soviet Union crumbled, and at the same time, they lost their grip on some of these Eastern European countries. They lost their grip on some of the Baltics, right? They wanted their independence. They no longer wanted to be under the yoke of the Soviet Union, right? They wanted to be free, democratic countries. And so that started the pathway of some of these Eastern Europeans becoming members of NATO. Again, security. It's all about security. You cannot have a free and democratic country and to be able to enjoy the fruits of liberty without security. I think you guys have heard an old adage, freedom is not free, and that is true. You have to have security in order to enjoy the fruits of liberty. It's just the way it is. So these Eastern European countries, they wanted to get in NATO as fast as they can, right? Not because they were forced in, it's because they chose to come in. They wanted to be part of the Western democracies. They saw what it's like in these Western democracy countries. They wanted to experience the good life. So we've always had an issue with Russia, right? Russia has always had tendencies of being imperialistic. You know, it's funny because, you know, back in the Cold War days, that's something they always called us, right? The Soviets always called us imperialistic. Well, come on. If you look at the history of Russia, it's nothing but imperialism, period. It's what it was. When Putin came to power, right? Not necessarily in the beginning. You know, when he first came into power, what was that, 2000, 2001? No one really knew what to think, right? Everyone understood he was a former KGB colonel. So the guy was smart, right? No doubt about it. But as the time went on, he started getting a little bit more imperialistic. Let's just go with that. Started getting a little bit more imperialistic. And where the writing was really on the wall was in the 2007 Munich Security Conference. He kind of spelled it out what exactly he was going to do. And he exactly followed it to a T. 2007, he made his announcement during the Munich Security Conference. In 2008, he invaded Georgia. 2014, he invaded Ukraine the first time. And then, of course, in 2022, he invaded Ukraine again, in what we're experiencing to this day. Not only that, he's also, you know, been involved in some other shenanigans, right? There's no doubt about it. So there's a history there with what Vladimir Putin is trying to accomplish. And again, these are against countries who want to experience liberty, right? Ever since the dissolution of the Soviet Union, and these, again, like I said, these countries wanted to have their sovereignty and their liberty, period. We've always been against Russia ever since the end of World War II. Lately, it seems like it's turning. It's turning. Okay, here we go. And I see what Paul's saying about Ukraine monitoring money from the cap. Okay. Hey, Paul, do you think the United States launders money? Do you think China launders money? Do you think any European country launders money? It happens. There's criminal activity everywhere. It's human condition, man. That's the human condition. I don't like those arguments for the simple fact that's a non-starter for what is happening in Ukraine. Ukraine was invaded by Russia. Period. Stop. There is no justification for Russia to invade Ukraine. Period. They are the aggressors. Ukraine is the victim. They are fighting for their lives to hold on to their country. That's what they're doing. And they are going to do whatever it takes to defeat the Russians that are invading their territory. And they're putting up a hell of a fight. Okay? A hell of a fight against the Russians. Now, there's something weird going on, guys. And I don't understand what the hell's going on. Let's just put it that way. So after the confrontation in the Oval Office, right? The United States did two things. They stopped aiding and supplying Ukraine with military hardware and intelligence, guys. Okay. So Ukraine can no longer depend on the United States for both material and intelligence services. That's done. Okay. It's not too much of a big deal to a certain extent. The intelligence is a big deal, but the supplies right now, to a certain extent, they got enough to kind of hang on. Ukraine has suffered this before because there was a time, even during the Biden administration, where they cut off some supplies for a little while, and they were able to get through it. So that's kind of a lagging effect. It's not a leading. What do you want to call it? A leading indicator. It'll be a lagging indicator. Because once they run out, well, then that's going to be an issue. But you got the European Union who are starting to step in. But on top of that, now they've denied satellite imagery by Maxor. And again, the intelligence needed for the Ukraine to be able to defend against the attack by Russia. And it's absolutely incredible that this is happening. We are actually talking about the United States. You are willing to cut off a country who's holding on for its dear life against an aggressive country. I don't understand what is going on. I really don't understand the process of what is happening. To me, it feels like it's petty, it's childish, it's kindergarten. He got mad because of the confrontation that happened in the Oval Office that didn't need to happen in the first place. It could have been that could have very easily been a non-factor. But it's absolutely ridiculous that he decides to and I said this in Twitter. It's the whole I'm gonna take my ball and I'm gonna take it home because he's pissed off. There were some comments today, right? Because ever since President Trump has turned off the spigot, not necessarily spigot, but also the intelligence gathering for Ukraine from the United States, Russia launched one of its largest attacks against Ukraine. And this is the look. So you got the United States, and everybody knows what they're doing. And you got the Russians who take advantage of that situation and launch a major strike with drones and ballistic missiles against Ukraine. But this is the same Russia, the same Putin that President Trump in the Oval Office said that he wants peace. Do you see where we're going with this, guys? We talked about this in 2 episodes ago. Talked about the Trump doctrine. What is the Trump doctrine? To be honest with you, I still don't know what the Trump doctrine is. Well, actually, we kind of got a glimpse, so we're going to talk about this here in a little bit. So you got President Trump in the Oval Office saying Putin wants peace, but yet he is still attacking, and he's taking advantage of you talking about the Trump administration in the ending of support for Ukraine. Absolutely, Anthony. I get you. So we're siding. We're siding with the Russians, guys. For what reason? Because have you guys heard anything from the Trump administration talking about retaliatory actions against Russia? It's been all against Ukraine. Ukraine has to do this. Ukraine has to do that. Nothing from the Russians. You tell me how the hell is that supposed to happen? You're telling the country who's being attacked since 2022, innocents being killed, and you're going to sit here and you're going to talk about stopping the support of that country and doing the bidding of Russia. Don't quite understand it. Another thing that doesn't make sense. I'm going to go off on a little tangent here. I also hear President Trump talking very tough about Hamas and Iran, right? Hamas better release the hostages or else. Iran better not develop a nuclear weapon or else. So in other words, he's threatening military action against both of these entities. Talk about one of them is a country, the other one is an organization. So he's willing to talk tough against Hamas and Iran, but when it comes to Russia, he's quiet as a mouse. Why is that? Can someone answer? Can someone logically answer why you want to talk tough about war when you've talked about you just want to have peace? I've heard that as a million times, not just about what he has said about Putin, but for him himself as president. He wants to be about peace, but he's threatening action against Hamas and Iran. And look, I agree. I think you need to knock out Hamas. You need to knock out Iran. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, how can you sit there and talk about attacking these two, again, Hamas and Iran, but you have nothing to say about Russia? Yeah, I see what you're saying, Senior. It's absolutely ridiculous. And I'm getting sick and tired. 106. Oh, when I keep hearing President Trump talking about the United States has given a $350 billion. It hasn't. There has not been $350 billion given from the United States to Ukraine. That is flatly untrue. At the most, it's closer to 100. Okay, now, ever since then, right? Now you got European Union who are going absolutely apeshit right now. And look, I'm going to say something right now. There's a lot of European nations out there that need to spend more. I 100% agree with President Trump in that regard, that yes, they do need to pay a higher percentage on their defense, right? I have no issue with that. But here's the problem. You're still wanting to just throw them to the wolves, so to speak. It doesn't make any sense. You still back your friends and your allies. You do not turn your back on your friends and allies, period. You just don't do that. You don't. And what's happening now is with what the United States are doing with Ukraine, now the EU, or I should say, we'll just say the EU, is taking steps to keep helping Ukraine. Now, here's another problem. A lot of countries, France has come out and said it. Poland, the Prime Minister of Poland has come out and said it today. I think it was either yesterday or today. They want to start developing nuclear weapons, guys. France, under Macron, has said that he wants to protect Europe under a nuclear umbrella. Poland has said, I think it's Prime Minister Tusk, I think is his name. He wants to develop nuclear missiles. Poland and Lithuania want to pull out of the Ottawa Accords, which prevents cluster munitions and landmines. So they want us now. You got some of these Eastern European countries who want to develop cluster munitions and landmines. It's becoming a much more dangerous world by doing this. What happens is when you have the absence of American power, European nations are going to take it upon themselves to ensure their safety. If you cannot rely on the United States, the most powerful country in the world currently, then they're going to take matters into their own hands. So what you're doing is you're making Europe more militarized. Now, that being said, should they increase in defense? Absolutely. But it's telling you, they're going to go above and beyond. It's going to get absolutely incredible right now. The last thing you want is more nuclear proliferation, guys. The more people that have nuclear weapons, the worse off it's going to be. And look, and it's not going to end with Europe as well. South Korea has talked about increasing their numbers of nuclear. I think they have nuclear weapons, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. Japan is talking about developing nuclear weapons. Again, because they see the writing on the wall. If you cannot rely on the United States as a friend and as an ally, they're going to take matters into their own hands. And you know what? You hear the term, be careful what you ask for? Be careful what you ask for, because this shit could get sideways in a heartbeat. Yes, Tom, Trump has started a new arms race. Absolutely. And then today, President Trump had some interesting words. said he doesn't know if he's going to come to the rescue of NATO nations who aren't paying their fair share. So if you're a NATO member, say you're Germany, and you're not spending the right percentage on your defense, and you're attacked by Russia, the United States is not going to come to help you. Everything is transactional with President Trump. There always has to be a cost. Rather than doing what's morally right and helping your friends and allies, everything is based on a dollar figure. Not only that, he also said about Japan, guys. He also said this about Japan. Japan has never helped us, so why should we help them if they're in a time of trouble? Tell me how Japan is feeling when you hear the President of the United States saying such things. We're not going to come to the help of Japan because Japan has never helped us. By the way, guys, does anyone understand why Japan doesn't have a stronger military? Can anyone guess? Does anyone have an idea? Take a shot in the dark. Why doesn't Japan have a bigger military than what they should have? Can anyone guess? Paul says World War II. What about World War II? Because of us. You're getting closer, Anthony. And why is it because of us? What did we dictate? There's something we dictated to Japan after the end of World War II. It's in their constitution, right? The United States forced them, if you want to say that, to write in their constitution that their size of their military is not allowed. Thank you, Jay Belton. Thank you, Jay. 100%. So you want to sit here and President Trump should, this is the issue that I'm having because President Trump doesn't seem to have an understanding of history. And I don't know who's advising him before he goes out in front of these microphones. I don't think, to be honest with you, I've said this before. I think once he gets in front of cameras, he absolutely loses all the train of thought. He's just going to say whatever comes to his mind without any historical basis whatsoever. It's just what he feels. You don't do that. This is friends and allies. You don't turn your backs on friends and allies. Even if you have disagreements. Look, you're going to have disagreements. Your own family. If you have a family, you understand that there's disagreements. Doesn't mean you turn your back on them. Well, sometimes it may, depending on how serious it is. But you talk it out. You figure it out. Anthony, what about Hiroshima and Nagasaki, my friend? I'm not reading more into this. He said it. Why should we help Japan if they haven't helped us? That's what he said. When you got China, who have already announced they're going to increase their defense spending by over 7%. Well, you know, he said, she said, Anthony, right? This is no. That doesn't what happened in World War II does not equate to what's happening in today's world. It's absolutely just asinine. I don't know what is going on. And who do you think is going to take advantage of this, right? And now we get to the crux of it. China is sitting back watching this all unfold, licking their chops. 100% they are. Now, I've heard there's a lot of ideas going out saying that the Trump doctrine is what they call a reverse Kissinger. Does anyone understand what a reverse Kissinger is? Something that Henry Kissinger and Richard Nixon did back in the late 90s, early 70s. And can anyone guess what that was? There was something, talking geopolitically, they did something pretty damn big. There you go, PMG, the reverse Kissinger. You know where I'm going. Back in the late 90s, late 60s, early 70s, we opened the door to China to become part of the regular world, right? So to speak. I'm just putting it in layman terms. What's up, Mo? Good, Mo. Good to see you, man. Yeah, once more shipbuilding. You know how long that's going to take to match what China's doing? It's the right path, Paul, but they're not going to catch up. I'm telling you right now, they are not catching up with what China is doing. It's a day late and $1 short because that shit's about ready to go down. You don't believe me? Watch. You watch. It is going to get ready to go down. Anyways, the late 60s, early 70s, Nixon, Kissinger paved the way for China to come, enter the regular world, so to speak. Yes, Rounder, got to start sometime. Agreed. 100% agree. Now, the reason why Kissinger and Nixon were able to take advantage of that is the Soviet Union and China were at loggerheads. Matter of fact, they were at worse than loggerheads. They almost came to blows. They almost started a war over there on their western border. They were on bad terms. There was a division, so to speak. So Nixon and Kissinger, especially Kissinger, the guy he understood freaking diplomacy and foreign affairs like no other. The guy knew what he was doing. Took advantage of that. It's like, all right, we'll bring China into our court. You're separating the two biggest communist powers in the Soviet Union and China, creating a division, bringing China into our camp, and now you've isolated Russia, correct? That's what you did, which is fantastic. That's shrewd. What do you want to call it? Realpolitik, power politics. Shrewd. Now, supposedly Trump is trying to do the reverse Kissinger. And what does the reverse Kissinger mean? It means instead of trying to lure China away from Russia, we are trying to lure Russia away from China. The problem is Russia and China are not feuding. There's no division. They're not about to go to war. They're closely knitted together. They're in cooperation with each other. It's not going to work. That type of strategy is not going to work for the simple fact that the conditions were much different in the late 60s and early 70s than they are today. It's not going to happen. All you're doing is you're appeasing and you're showing weakness to both Russia and China, and they are 100% going to take full advantage of it. It's such a mistake that you don't understand the ramifications of what is happening. The absence of American strength and power on the world stage makes the world a much more dangerous place. And I don't know how, I don't know what the outcome of this is going to be. We're still in the midst of what's happening here. So you got all this geopolitical stuff. You got tariffs all over the place, which is creating worse conditions for us. Stock market has absolutely tanked, right? Has anyone been affected by that, by the way, guys? Anyone that does any kind of investing? I think what was it? Over the last week, I think the stock market lost over $1 trillion worth, something like that. And on top of that, inflation will continue to rise. From what I've heard, and we'll see how it transpires, we're getting ready to get into some more stagflation again. You guys remember stagflation? You remember the 1970s under Jimmy Carter. Remember? Stagflation, where you had high inflation and a horrible economy. Usually it's the other way around. Usually when you got a bad economy, you got low inflation. Or if you got high inflation, you got, it's vice versa. It's not both of them are bad at the same time. Gold is going through the roof. Gold is going through the roof, man. If anyone's in gold, man, you guys are, whew. Yeah, this is the time to buy, right? But guys, I'm not understanding what is going on here. It used to be where the United States of America stood up for some morals, liberty, democracy, better way of life, against tyranny. The United States never backed away from that, guys. Oh, thanks, Benji. Appreciate it. Yeah, I've been on Twitter quite a lot these last few days. It's just, I would say over the last couple of weeks, it's been quite interesting reading some of the stuff that I've been reading and just interacting with people on X. The rule of law. Thank you, PMG. Justice. That's even better. But now it seems like we have foreign policy that's based on New York real estate tactics. That's not going to get it done, guys. President Trump, if he wants to succeed as a president, he's got to get people in his White House that understand the nature of what is going on in foreign policy. All he has done is hired a bunch of yes men. That's all it is. I don't think there is a dissenting voice amongst them. You have to have another voice in the room and understand where they're coming from. Eric, it doesn't sound like you like the America First policy. Nope, never said that. Has NATO ever filed a charge? No, they have not, Jay. No, they have not. Back to the America First. No, never said that. Tom, served 21 years. I'm all about America First. But you know what America First means? It doesn't mean what just benefits me. It's not just what benefits our country. It's what can help benefit the world as well. Because when the world's a safer place, guess what? America's a safer place. And the only way that it's a safer place if America shows strength, if it shows resolve, if it shows that it's ready to go to battle when it's facing tyranny. And what I mean by battle, I'm just not talking about on the battlefield. I'm talking about diplomacy, negotiating. Thank you, Benji. That's what I'm talking about. People are so entrenched. People are so entrenched in their politics that they don't want to hear. It's if Trump says it, I gotta believe it because he said it. And if you go down that road, you're gonna be sadly mistaken. Why do you think all these other countries want to emulate the United States? There's a reason why. Why do people want to flood this country? Right? Come on. It's pretty good here in the United States. We've never experienced what it's like to live in Eastern Europe under the tyranny of the Soviet Union. And now we're in bed with the Russians, and I don't understand it. This is the wrong way. This is not how you do it. You do not reward the aggressor and punish the victim. It's just every time I'm opening up X, I'm seeing some other weird shit being talked about, and I was like, am I living in reality? All great empires collapse. That's correct. And, PMG, I'm glad you said that. There's something that I'm going to bring up. I've said it on the show before, and you guys are going to recognize it. PMG, you might know where I'm going. Oh, here we go. Here we go. All right. Guys have probably seen this before. Kind of prophetic, too. Just bear with me. How then shall we perform it? At what point shall we expect the approach of danger? By what means shall we fortify against it? Shall we expect some transatlantic military giant to step the ocean and crush us at a blow? Never. All the armies of Europe, Asia, and Africa combined, with all the treasure of the earth in their military chest, with a Bonaparte for a commander, could not by force take a drink from the Ohio or make a track on the Blue Ridge in the trial of 1,000 years. At what point then is the approach of danger to be expected? I answer, if it ever reach us, it must spring up amongst us. It cannot come from abroad. If destruction be our lot, we must ourselves be its author and finisher. As a nation of free men, we must live through all time or die by suicide. Can anyone guess who uttered these words? Any guess? For those of you who've watched the channel before, you guys probably know. Who said those prophetic words? And I'll go back to what PMG said. Can anyone guess who uttered those famous, or I should say prophetic words? And it's before you got famous. This speech was given in 1838. PMG, pretty good. Val Ramos, thank you, sir. Abraham Lincoln, 1838. Gave a speech to the young Lyceum of Springfield, Missouri. That was Abraham Lincoln who uttered those prophetic words. In other words, no one could ever defeat the United States, right? No one, ever. The only way that the nation falls is with those who live in this country itself. And we're kind of seeing that, right? There is so much division to this in today's world. Look, has there always been division? Yeah. But we're experiencing it, right? Only because thanks, Jay. Hey. See, you learned something, man. Right on. But if we don't heed those words, exactly what PMG, our empire could collapse. That's a great question. Senior said the same thing. No, Mike, it was Lincoln. I don't know. It sure seems that way, doesn't it? Oh, absolutely, Paul. Yes, sir. Either way, the situation more complicated than you and me can handle. Absolutely. I'm just responding to what I see and what I hear. Because we don't know what's happening in those dark, smoky back rooms. Absolutely. But we could also say, given what has happened, it looks like we are aligning with Russia, right? Am I not right? That's what I'm seeing. I'm not seeing anything different. I'm seeing Ukraine getting absolutely freaking their asses kicked because we decided to pull away the intelligence. We seem to be backing the attacker. I have yet to hear anything coming. I've heard a lot of demands put on Ukraine, and it doesn't make any sense. That if you're a leader, you don't do that. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, but listen to what Trump is saying, though, Paul. Just all you got to do, even if you take just what President Trump has said, and tell me does that seem like a leader that is going in the right direction? Because to me, it doesn't. That's me. There is something going. There is something afoot between President Trump and President Putin. You know, he wants to call Zelenskyy a dictator. But how long has Putin ran the country of Russia? Can anyone tell me? Can anyone tell me how long President Putin has been in charge of the Russia Federation? You call Zelenskyy. Oh, that's another thing. Holy shit, I totally forgot about that. Yeah, he's been a dictator for 25 years. 25 years. Oh, and let's not forget, Trump administration has been going behind Zelensky's back in Ukraine, getting involved in Ukrainian politics, trying to find another person to take over for Zelenskyy. You want to talk about smoky room deals? That nugget dropped the other day. No, Paul. That's what Putin wants, man. That's the problem. That's what Putin wants. Putin will saber rattle. He will saber rattle. If you don't show him what the hell's up, well, then he's going to keep doing it. All Trump is doing is falling straight into the hands of Putin. Period. What would we gain from backing Russia, Anthony? It's a great question. Soon to find out. Soon to find out. There's something going on. Oh, yeah, PFG, right? Yeah, when Medvedev was like president for like a year, right? And I think what wasn't like Putin was supposed to be like the foreign minister, right? Yeah, we all know what that was all about, right? But you want to get involved. We're complaining. You're talking about the Russia hoax, and he keeps saying that, and I don't know why he brings that up when you're talking about the fight between Ukraine and Russia. I don't understand it. This has nothing to do with you, President Trump. It has nothing to do with Russia. This has to do with Russia invading Ukraine and doing the right thing and backing the right people. Worst case scenario, Senior wants to know. Whew. Worst case scenario, Russia takes over Ukraine. And now, and here's the thing, Ukraine has built up a formidable armed forces. They're producing drones by the thousands, right? They got a very well-trained army, and they're going to fold in right with Russia. Okay? And what do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen when Russia is all of a sudden that much more powerful because they've got Ukraine embedded with them? China, that shoe's going to drop, guys. It's going to happen, period. It's going to happen. They're going to take Taiwan, and it's not going to stop with Taiwan. It's not going to stop. I'm telling you, China will not stop at Taiwan. Did you see earlier? They had their Navy sail off the coast of Australia and perform live fire exercises. Yes, the Chinese Navy, what they still call them the PLA, sailed their ships off the coast of Australia and conducted live fire exercises. They're not stopping at Taiwan. Now, don't get me wrong. Are they going to invade Australia? No. But they want to take control of the South China Sea. Period. Could China really go to war with the United States? Sure. Yep. Guys, I don't mean to sound hyperbolic, but this is the truth of it. Been watching it for freaking years, guys. Been watching it for years. This isn't just about what's going on in Europe. This is also about what's going on in the Western Pacific. It's a mess, guys. No, absolutely, Moji. Yeah, look. Am I going to say the United States have never been involved in rigging elections? So of course they have. But here's the problem, Moji. Zelenskyy is a wartime leader in a nation that is being attacked. That has been attacked for the last 3 years, going on number 4. That's the issue that I have. You don't sit there and try to undermine a wartime. Would FDR ever try to influence British elections and trying to get Churchill out of there? Right? Let's put that in use that as an example. Would FDR ever try to influence Churchill being kicked out of being the prime minister. No. PMG, no more ground wars. Digital warfare and social manipulation is the battlefield. That's part of it. That is an aspect of it. PMG, 100%. No, absolutely. No, Benji, I got you. I'm just talking about the current war. Well, there you go, Paul. Yeah. Yes, sir. This is good. Oh, guys, I don't know enough about this. Is there any guys out there that know anything about crypto? Anybody out there understand crypto? Because I have absolutely no understanding about that shit. And I'm not going to even try. I just saw some interesting news come out the other day, and I want to get someone's opinion. For anyone out there who knows anything about crypto, I would love to get your take. Not if it, yeah, same, me neither, Paul. Benji, nope. Yeah. Yes, you're right, PMG. Careful what apps you run, PMG. That's another thing. Looks like TikTok isn't going away. Anyone know anything about crypto? Because I know nothing. Daily, what's up, my friend? You know anything about crypto? Supposedly, Trump has instituted a strategic crypto reserve. Ask Grok. Right. Yeah. Okay, let's do that, guys. Because I know nothing about crypto. Let's ask Grok. Dan, right on. Dan, talk to me about crypto. Is this a good idea? Let's look. Holy crap. Holy crap. Can I get rid of that? I can't. The U.S. Crypto Strategic Reserve is a proposed initiative by U.S. government announced by President Donald Trump this month. Will include major digital assets, Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Solana, Cardano, with Bitcoin in their position as core holdings. The concept builds on the executive order signed strengthening American leadership in digital finance technology. Currently estimated around, I don't even know what the hell this is, into a broader strategic reserve intended to position the U.S. as a leader in the global digital economy. Now here, I'm going to see what people are saying here. You have a lot of XRP, okay? Okay. Its purpose articulated is to elevate the cryptocurrency industry. Counter what is described years as regulatory hostility under the previous administration. Crypto capital of the world. Signed further executive order specifically establishing strategic Bitcoin reserve as a permanent reserve asset. Capitalized with forfeited Bitcoin held by Treasury. Digital Fort Knox. Okay. The initiative mirrors other U.S. strategic reserve. Okay. That's all it's saying. Okay. It's just giving me an idea. Is it a good idea? Guy, is it a good idea? Because I have a tweet out here by the guy I follow, Neil Ferguson. I should say, Sir Neil Ferguson, historian. Oh, did I not? No, I didn't. Didn't I? Here it is. Okay. Here we go. Let's because this is what I saw earlier. Cryptos are conducted all online, and you have to track all the history. Which is, could this be? Could it be manipulated? That's what I'm saying. PM said no, it's liquidity grow. Okay, here we go. You guys follow me here because, again, I don't know enough about it. I'm just going by what people are saying. I'm following historians and other people who are familiar. It says this doesn't mean those proposing these things today are corrupt. No, they may very well all true believers. Corruption often starts with good intentions that lead you to build very corruptible systems. And this structure itself is clearly one extremely susceptible to bad behavior and disastrous optics. In particular, the administration currently says the crypto reserve will be funded with government-seized crypto resulting from criminal or civil asset forfeitures. If you believe that, I'll stay that way. You likely also believe the income tax remained at the promised 3% after the 16th Amendment. Alas, if it were me, frequent crypto fraud is not something I'd bring up a lot when I'm trying to sell the world on the crypto reserve. This argument also runs into always useful, but not so often forgotten point that money is fungible. If you wouldn't buy crypto to start such a fund, you wouldn't start it with found crypto either, because you can sell that for actual money, at least for a little while longer. Finally, and perhaps most obviously to economists at least, even if crypto is a viable long-term competitor to the US dollar, why on earth would we be promoting this direct competitor to our being the world's reserve currency? Something that conveys upon the United States exorbitant privilege. Again, the strength of the US dollar. A strategic crypto reserve isn't far from the president exhorting us to start a strategic renminbi reserve, as we hand over those exorbitant advantages to the Chinese. It's lacking, or it's lying back and showing America's belly to the world in surrender. A surrender that's unwarranted and at least somewhat suicidal. So to me, it sounds like there's an issue there. Make gold and silver great again, right? There you go. Yeah, it seems a little weird. So I think what that guy is trying to say is that the United States has a whole bunch of powers by using the US dollar, and by creating this crypto reserve, you're undermining the US dollar, so then it can be manipulated, so to speak. The last thing we need is more freaking weakness, guys. I don't know. Again, I'm just going by what these people are saying. I honestly, I have no understanding on what crypto can and cannot do. China uses 5G facial recognition to pay for your goods. They are, dude, it's all about, what do they call that? Social monitoring, whatever it may be. So it's interesting what's going on here. I mean, it just seems we're losing our way. I want us to get back on track. I want us to have a direction that is going to be better for everybody, if you can. Oh, there you go. Crypto is very volatile. Had one back about 5 years ago that tanked on me. Well, there you go. Sounds like it's, again, to use it as a strategic reserve sounds like it's a little bit too risky. Trump is probably more intelligent than most everybody on this chat, Tom. Why? Tell me why. Tell me why, Tom. Because Trump said he is? Come on. Are you being sarcastic? Please tell me you're being sarcastic. Please. Please tell me you're being sarcastic, Tom. Because do I need to go find some stuff? Because I can find it. Let me see what we got here. Nothing. Trump is just more prettier. No, just standing up for our president. Hey, Tom, president isn't a god, man. The president is a human just like us. Puts on his pants the same way we do. Yes, we elected him. And yes, he should be shown respect. I get it. But respect is also earned. Right, Tom? Right? Doesn't just because he's the president doesn't mean you cannot disagree with what he is doing. If I feel like we are going the wrong direction for this country, I will stand up and I will say so, whether it's the president or not. Tom, did you feel the same way about Joe Biden? Did you say the same things about Joe Biden? He was our president. Were you standing up for Joe Biden? I would just want to know. I'm going to ask you. You're saying because he's the president, you're standing up for our president. President Biden was our president. Were you standing up for Biden? And I'm not saying that it wasn't an absolute dumpster fire under Biden, because it was 100%. I'm not going to sit here and sit there that I am backing Biden, because I'm not. I'm truly independent. I have a way that I lean, but I am independent. If I feel like someone is doing something wrong, I'm going to say it. If I think they're doing something right, I will say it. I don't care where their position is. I didn't agree with anything, but did you support him? Because he was our president. That's what I'm trying to say, Tom. I'm not trying to pick on you. I hope you understand that. I'm just saying, when you come out and you make absolutes like that, talking about because he's my president, I'm going to defend him. Well, you gotta say the same thing for a guy that you disagree with. That's all I'm saying. I look, and I'm upfront. Hey, in this last presidential election, I voted for no president. None. First time I've ever not voted for a president. It was left blank. Actually, I think I filled it in. I think I put Mickey Mouse. I did a write-in, but I did not vote for neither. I didn't like either candidate, period. I'm just going to point out where I see that something is going wrong, and I don't like the direction. I don't. I do not like the direction that our country is taking as far as our foreign affairs. Way to go, Dan. Starman comes in with the chat of the day. You also just smoke some weed and chill. Hey, whatever floats your boat, Starman. Have at it, buddy. Again, like I said, as far as the foreign affairs, just don't like the direction. I don't like turning our back on our friends and our allies, because when the shit hits the fan, who's going to be there to help us? Because there's going to be a time when the United States is going to need help. I know who was talking. Was it you, Paul? I think it was Paul talking about Trump wants to increase shipbuilding. Yes, that's a step in the right direction. But I'm telling you something right now. We're way behind the 8 ball when it comes to that. Way behind the 8 ball. There's absolutely no way we're going to catch up with the Chinese. And it's going to happen, guys. It's going to happen. We could sit back and enjoy our days, wake up, have a beautiful day in the Central Valley of California. But there's going to be a day you're going to wake up and things are going to change. There's no doubt about it. And if you don't have strong leadership in today's world, it's going to be a tough going. You got Europe, who's going to want to militarize. They want to talk about nuclear proliferation. If that was directed to me, appreciate that. Appreciate that. Mo G. Did you see the Air Force Times article talking about the Air Force's FMC rate? Oh, it's bad. It is so bad. Mo, the Air Force is in a terrible way. Thanks, Starman. Appreciate that, buddy. Appreciate it. Thank you. Germany is good at building subs for the cartels. I don't even know what you're talking about. But I'll tell you one thing. Germany knows how to build some military equipment. 100%. I just hope it sounds like with their new chancellor, they're going to get their head out of their ass and be a force to be reckoned with in Europe, because Europe's going to need the strength of Germany, the strength of the UK, the strength of France, and of course, Poland, man. Poland, they ain't messing around, man. Oh, yeah, Anthony, I know. I saw that. But did they even have enough to help us? Good question. It's crazy what China is just going full throttle. Remember during Trump's first term, he talked about Operation Warp Speed and getting those vaccinations done. Remember, Trump was talking about that. Warp Speed, Operation Warp Speed. We're going to get these vaccines out so everyone's going to be safe from COVID. Well, China is in warp speed and building their military. Hey, right on, Paul. Good for you. Yeah, as far as the Air Force is concerned, yeah, the FMC, the fully mission capable rates are in the toilet. The toilet, my friend. So again, this is difficult times, and you're going to have to figure out how to navigate these difficult challenges, man. It's not going to be easy. This is in your face. You know, if you're not paying attention to this, again, you're going to wake up one day and go, what in the hell just happened? Anthony, ain't that the truth? Hold on. Let me see what I got here. See what I got with some of these damn. What is this? Hold on. Oh, that's hilarious. You guys got to. guys, check this out. Oh, I didn't even do that. Oh, shit. This is great, guys. This is good stuff. Okay, you see this little button? It says profile summary. Well, I hit it, and this is what it came up with. I don't know where. Master History, who's me, is a passionate military history buff and a San Francisco Giants diehard who believes Aaron Judge's postseason slump demands a lineup shakeup. I don't even know where that came from. All while hosting live YouTube chats on epic battles and global crises. Master History 23 skewers Trump's foreign policy flops while geeking out over Giants baseball and air shows in a whirlwind of hot takes. Oh, man, look at that. Grok, it's a little bit wrong. I don't know where it got that damn Aaron Judge bullshit, but damn, how about that? That's freaking awesome. Oh, that was cool. I like that. Oh my gosh, dude. I don't know where I got that Aaron Judge stuff from. All right, let me see. Oh, here we go. Oh, I'm not going to even go down that. That's something. I don't know if you guys heard. Did you guys hear that when the question was asked of President Putin, or listen to me, President Trump? Russia is pounding Ukraine. Why don't you provide military aid and air defense? Trump says, because I want them to settle. I want to know They want to settle. If they don't, we're out of there. So you basically say let Ukraine get their asses kicked because they don't want to settle. But where's Russia? Hey, Starman, appreciate that. Dude, Senior, that's freaking awesome. Holy crap. I think yours is a little bit more spot. Mine was kind of spot on. Again, I don't understand a damn. I don't understand the Aaron Judge, but man, that's awesome. Yeah, I'll save it. Yes, correct. You're gonna have to remind me of that again, Senior, when we go live on when we go live on Sunday. I'll bring that up. That's pretty good. That's pretty good, dude. I liked mine though. I liked mine, especially at the very end. I like that stuff. That was good. Anyways, guys, I think I'm about done. I just had to. Tom, you get an opinion by educating yourself on as much information on every issue that you can. That's how you can say what you think is right or wrong. There you go. Right on. There you go. 100%. I like that, Tom. Right on. Right on. I like it. All right, what else we got in here? I think I pretty much covered everything. Again, guys, kind of if you got time, kind of go back in history, see what has occurred between either the Soviet Union and Russia with hold on. I'll find it. I think I can find it. Hold on. I don't know if you have to do it or not. I won't share it. Oh, it does it. Okay, there's the button. Okay. Oh, hold on, Dad. Okay, we're going to have some fun, guys. Guys, I'm kind of deviating a little bit here. Here we go. What does this say? No, that's good, dude. That's a good one. That's a good one. Here, well, check this out, man. That's actually really good. Oh, any new books? Okay, hold on one second. I got to show this for Dan. They did you up really well, man. Here you go. NorCal Sports is a die-hard Giants fan and a sports analyst who's been pounding the drum for over a year that the team's ownership is too weak to win another World Series, blending sharp baseball takes with a love of NorCal teams like the Warriors and 49ers. NorCal Sports Network's been dissecting Giant spring training, praising Matos over Yaz, and venting about the Warriors' brutal NBA schedule. And then this is what they got. Baseball, nothing like it. Hey, that's pretty good. Dan, not too bad, man. Not too bad. Good stuff. They did you well, Dan. Books. Well, I tell you what, Moji, I just bought a book. Here, let me bring it up real quick. I felt this is something that's timely, right? It's a timely book. Here he goes. Actually, let me do it this way. There we go. Here it is. The Eurasian Century, Hot Wars, Cold Wars, and the Making of the Modern World by Hal Brands. There we go. An urgent and incisive new framework for understanding the origins and the stakes of global conflict with China, Russia, and Iran. So there you go. I thought that was timely. Who's Hal Brands? He's a Henry Kissinger Distinguished Professor of Global Affairs at the Johns Hopkins School of Advanced International Studies and a scholar at the American Enterprise Institute. He is also a columnist for Bloomberg Opinion. There you go. That is Hal Brands, guys. That's what I'm going to be reading here very soon. Well said it. Well, I've said it before. Zelensky had to do is keep his mouth shut, sign the agreement, and go eat back home. But the problem is, Zelensky, that minerals deal was a bunch of bullshit anyways, because that provided no security guarantees whatsoever. As a matter of fact, that broke between now and the last, because now supposedly the mineral deals, Trump is asking for more now. Strong arming the Ukrainians. Now he wants more from the minerals deal, even though it's a non-starter. And it was a setup. There's no doubt about it. No one's going to convince me otherwise. JD Vance didn't have to say anything about JD Vance did not have to chime in. That was dumb. Absolutely dumb. And I think oh man, I got a lot of action in this on Twitter. Trump is talking about pulling out all U.S. forces out of Germany. And he wants to move them to Hungary. Don't get me wrong, Hungary is a NATO nation, right? But Hungary also has an affinity for Russia as well. So a little bit interesting. If you want to take them out of Germany, that's fine. Why don't you put them in Poland, Finland, Sweden, Lithuania, Estonia, Latvia, Czech Republic? Why are you hungry? I don't trust Orban. That's just me. Just me. No, everyone's right to their opinion. I'm just saying my thoughts. That's all they are. Period. Period. That's it. Oh, Dan, make sure you give your brother my contact information. I don't know if he has it or not. That was a fun discussion we had the other day. I enjoyed that. That was good. Yeah, Launchstool, Moji. That's a big hospital. Launchstool. All the people from the wars that happened in Iraq and Afghanistan, they all transitioned through Launchstool. Czech Republic makes great guns, yeah. All right, I think I'm done, guys. It was fun. Had a little bit of fun there at the end, but I think you guys get the point of where I'm trying to go. We need decisive leadership on the foreign affairs, no doubt about it. Period. Have to. Again, you can't use, and I like what Zelensky said in the Oval Office. Yes, we have two oceans, the Atlantic and the Pacific, but that doesn't mean anything more. Not in today's world. That means nothing. It might have mattered decades ago, but in today's world, those oceans do not provide a safe haven for the United States. No doubt about it. We need adults in the room. I like that. Congress needs to play a bigger part. Thank you, PMG. Yes, the legislative branch needs to wake up. The American people need to wake up and elect people into Congress who are competent. 100%. Right? They're the ones that write these laws. We're not supposed to have a king, guys. There's an executive, a legislative, and a judicial, right? All three need to be functioning correctly. I know it's asking, look, maybe I'm being not naive, but God, what's that word? Hopeful. Not even optimistic. But we have a form of government that needs to work. Starman, appreciate it, man. Follow me on Twitter, Starman. Mastery History 23, right there below my name. Oh, speaking of Chinese balloons, Senior, there's a bunch of them flying over Taiwan, by the way. Anyways, and another thing too, going back to this, and you don't make enemies of your friends. You just don't do that. That's just ridiculous. You got to strengthen your bond with your friends in today's world. If you want to take on China, If you want to, and look, Russia is on the ropes. President Trump is giving a lifeline to President Putin. Absolutely giving him a lifeline. They could easily be crushed. As they should be. Hey, you lose a war. That's what happens, man. Anyways, guys, it was fun. Enjoyed the talk. You can catch me on Hot Corner on this Sunday where I get back into some Giants baseball. And yeah, get pissed off. Nah, Giants ain't pissing me off so much now. So it's not a big deal. But again, guys, I love coming on here and talking about this stuff. I try to give my opinion. I hope people don't think I'm attacking them. I'm just telling you, I'm pretty passionate. I want to see our country succeed. And I don't like the direction we're going. If I don't like the direction we're going, I'm going to say something, right? It's the same thing. If you guys follow me with the San Francisco Giants, I do the same thing. People accuse me of being a hater, but I'm not a hater. I just want the best for the Giants. I will point out the good and I will point out the bad. I think I've been pretty consistent in doing that. And I will do the same thing here when we're talking military history, geopolitical type of stuff, guys. I love doing this stuff. I enjoy it. Hopefully it comes across. Anyways, guys, be good to each other out there. Enjoy the rest of your Friday night. Enjoy your weekend. Have a good Saturday. And we'll see you back Sunday night. Hot Corner, 8 o'clock. Take care, guys. See you.